My name is Kynsley Akins, and OKIE Vegan is a pop-up that we have to promote plant-based eating in South Los Angeles. Today we're going to be making a coconut chickpea curry. The reason that I chose to prepare this dish is because it's pretty quintessential vegan fast cooking. It's easy to make. All the ingredients are readily available at your local grocery store. And if you prefer farmers markets, all of these ingredients are going to be there. Whenever I think about what I'm going to be eating, I just think about how it's going to nourish my body. The quinoa, for instance, I know that's a whole grain, an unbleached grain, so it's in its most perfect form that it could be, and it's filled with a lot of nutrients, minerals, and fiber, so it's gonna fill me up. And second, I also need lots of antioxidants, and I know a good source of that is always gonna be greens. Wanted to incorporate kale in that because you can play around with it and formulate it to work in a lot of different dishes. And for the curry, it's just really rich in flavor. So there's a lot of components there. We put chickpeas in it, so the whole idea is to substitute meat. So I just want to come up with things that will satiate me and feel a craving. If my first instinct is to go for meat, I have to combat that with something that is going to really counter that. Chickpea has a lot of protein, so that paired with the coconut milk, which is just basically a dairy substitute, that'll give you that feeling of creaminess that you would get from a butter or a milk, and all of that combined is going to give you this perfectly finished product where you don't need any meat, a power meal. The colors are really important because even though it's a cooked meal, it's also important that we eat more raw fruits and vegetables. So I know a lot of people don't like to eat salads, but if we use a rainbow of colors, even in cooked meals, it'll get our subconscious to really start looking out for greens, reds, yellows, and we'll be more inclined to eat more plants. We want people to see the colors, like what they're eating, and then when they're on their own, they'll be able to maybe pick up something that they wouldn't normally pick up just because they tried, the curry dish that one time. When I thought of vegan originally, it was hippie, flower child people. I'm not telling other people to eat vegan meals just because it's cool or hip. We all have goals that we want to accomplish, dreams that we want to see come to fruition. And we have to live to see that. When I'm telling people that plant-based options are good for you, I'm just saying they're your first line of defense from everything else in the world. Us eating our fruits, our vegetables, adding a diverse group of foods into our diet is gonna help us last longer. Growing up in a food desert, I lived in a single parent household, and my mom had kids that she needed to feed. So the types of foods that we were eating were marketed for families. Okay, here's a casserole, a hamburger helper, that's stuff that's what we were eating because that's who they were marketed towards. And obviously we didn't find out later that those processed box meals weren't that good for you. I wanted to make OKIE Vegan convenient for people who have families similar to mine. When we say we want to be our best, we just have to work on making decisions to make that happen. If I grab a kale, I know when I eat that, it's gonna nourish my body and manifest itself into being something really productive and give me a lot of energy and make me feel really good. And then from taking all that good energy in, I can put that back out. Everything that's grown in good spirits and eaten in good spirits manifests itself into being something great. So it's a cycle of goodness. So you eat good and then it comes out and you can share that good with other people.